Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. Want to improve your organization's customer service? Looking for insider tips to knock your customer socks off? Then you're in the right place. Here's your host, Yannick Grant.
Welcome to Navigating the Customer Experience. On today's episode, our guest is Darren Dawson. Darin is the co-founder and president of BombBomb, a human-centered communication platform that enables users to use simple, personal video messages to leverage their best asset, themselves. Darin leads all sales, marketing, customer success, and product development at BombBomb, a fast-growing Colorado-based software company. He's on a mission to rehumanize the planet, and he wants to start with your business communication. He believes that human beings have intrinsic value and that every person deserves to be seen, heard, and understood. That's why he co-founded BombBomb. So, plug your earphones in, sit back, relax, and let's jump into this fantastic conversation with Darin. Welcome, Darin.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome. Okay, Darin, could you share with us? We always like to ask our guests in their own words, even though we've read their bio, their formal bio, how it is that they arrived to where they are today. A little bit about your journey in your own words and how you got to where you are today. Could you share with that with us, please?
Sure, you bet. I feel like it may be a little bit non-typical. So for instance, I never graduated the university. So I didn't go to college. I did, but I didn't graduate. It wasn't, as my father said, very good advice to me at that age. Maybe college isn't for you. I was always entrepreneurial. He saw that in me and thought that I should pursue that and kind of get after doing my own thing. You know, I grew up on a farm, hardworking all my life, got given a good, what we call here in a Midwestern work ethic, I guess, and ended up moving to Colorado in 1995 when I was 21 years old and have been here ever since. So didn't graduate school, but then started this kind of painting business out here in Colorado when I was young, grew that business. It was actually successful. But then in the late 90s, I'd say early 2000s, I started being interested in all things to do with internet marketing, pay-per-click strategies, on-demand strategies, things like that. And I got involved in the marketing business, was lucky enough to get ownership in that business, to sell that business, and then do that again with another marketing company, and then ended up working at a TV station, actually running online marketing, the website, salespeople for that, also content creators for that. And I learned a lot about mass media marketing and and it really led me to think about what I didn't like about that, led me to create BombBomb, which I do today.
All right. Sounds awesome. Now, we had the awesome pleasure of interviewing your business, one of your employees, Ethan Butte, last year. We had him on our podcast as well as on a Facebook Live, and I was supremely blown away by how he responded to my messages through video. I thought it was just brilliant. And so, of course, when you reached out to me and I was like, oh my goodness, another person from BombBomb, but even the person who created it, this is amazing. So could you share with us, our audience, for those who may not have listened to Ethan's episode last year, who never heard of BombBomb, what is it that BombBomb does and how can that help a business?
Yeah, well, first of all, I love that guy. I'm actually, Ethan's a dear friend, and I convinced him to leave that TV station where we worked together and come to BombBomb with me. And so he's been here over 10 years. I couldn't have done it without him. He's fantastic. He's our chief evangelist. He's a good friend and a valued person to me. So, so we enable you. Well, let me back up. As you introduced me, I need to start with this. I believe, and we at BombBomb believe, that all human beings have intrinsic value, that we are special, that we are unique, how we communicate with each other is unique, and that the software that we enable you to use is sending video messages to the people who matter in your life. That could be the people in your life, personal life. It could be colleagues that you work with. It could be your prospects. It could be your existing customers. So you can send yourself video messages so they can see you, know you, understand you in that way. So it's very simple to do, takes no time at all. And we allow you to do it in every message platform that you may be using. So that could be your email, That could be in social media messenger systems. It could be in LinkedIn, for example. So anywhere you're saying a message, we allow you to use a video as well.
All right. Sounds awesome. Now, why video? Why should we use video to connect and communicate daily with people?
Yeah, so again, if you believe, like I just mentioned, that we are unique, that human beings, the way we talk is unique, then you should be considering video. And here's a very good example. If I was to ask 10 business owners, right, what do you think, or what is your most valuable asset in your business? I believe at least 9 out of 10, maybe 10 out of 10 would tell me that their people are their most valuable asset. But more often what we're doing is we're hiding these best assets, the ones that we spend a long time interviewing, right? If you're interviewing a salesperson, you're trying to say, are they good with people? Are they good at presenting passion and enthusiasm for your product? You're trying to assess all these things about people, and then we hire them, and then we make them look like and feel like everyone else with text, email, texting, phones, all that stuff. Phone's better, right? But behind these technologies that we have, chat, we're just like everyone else. I think we're removing the most uniqueness that we can bring in our people, our diversity, how they interact, all the things that we want in our culture and our business, we're withholding from our customers in a lot of ways when we don't put people in front of people more often. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Totally makes sense. Now, as we talk about video and connecting with people daily and really seeing the intrinsic value in a human being, in your view, Darren, what is customer experience and why do you think it matters?
Yes. So I believe the customer experience is every touch point that you have with either potential customers or existing customers, right? Anything. That could be an in-person event. It could be a podcast. It could be a webinar. It could be when I call your business, and what's the experience I get when that phone is picked up by someone who works there. That's it. So, and let me frame it this way. Look, if there were two businesses that did the exact same thing, and so the exact same service for the exact same price, how do you decide which one to choose if they're very much the same?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you choose the one you like, and that could be for a lot of different reasons, but the experience that you bring ultimately becomes your unique selling proposition. That is what makes us unique in the business. Look, I have a software business. I compete against people who do similar things to what I do. I have some features they don't have. They have some features that I don't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we cost basically the same. And at the end of the day, people are going to choose who they know, like, and trust.
Yeah.
I still believe that that's what they do. So in that case, my customer experience has to be better. I want to deliver on that more over than anything else. It matters in the product. It matters in all these motions that we look at in a business. But to me, again, customer experience is your unique identifier.
I totally support everything that you just said. And I think a lot of businesses lose focus of that. Now, in trying to deliver that customer experience that, as you mentioned, is your unique proposition, could you share with us, I think it's important the organization has to have a really good culture because customer experience starts from within, right?
Correct.
How you deal with your employees, how responsive you are to them, how you support them in whatever initiatives they're trying to accomplish. And of course, all businesses came into existence because we're all trying to solve some problem for customers that have a need. And so could you share with us maybe some of the values that BombBomb is built on that has helped BombBomb to really be able to realize fulfilling those needs for your customers? And why do you think an internal culture needs to be very impactful in order to execute a strong external culture?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have 5 core values at BombBomb. They are relationships,
Mm-hmm.
humility, flexibility, service, and fun. So those are our 5 core values. And I think that really businesses need to give the people that work there a reason to work there that's beyond money. That's beyond the work necessarily, right? Because you can go answer the phone anywhere. You can go do customer success, service anywhere. You can do sales anywhere. You can run these teams anywhere now, right? And from anywhere for that matter. I believe that we want to give people a purpose behind why they do what they do at BombBomb. And so we do that in a few different ways. I'm answering this question correctly, right? Did I get your right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We do it a couple different ways here. I think, first of all, our book is called Rehumanize Your Business, and that's what we want to do with our product. But our mission here at BombBomb is to rehumanize the planet. And this is what I mean by it has to matter more than the work. And locally, we support a few organizations. One is called Dream Centers here in Colorado Springs. It actually provides free health care for women. And also it provides, it gets homeless families off of the streets of our city and into a safe place where they can thrive, where they can go to school, where the mothers can get an education.
What's the name of that company again?
It's called Dream Centers in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Yep. They have the women's clinic and they have a thing called Mary's Home, and they're fantastic. And those are two organizations we support. Now we support them financially, but we also support them with our time. So every year we do a trunk or treat for the children at Mary's Home. Another organization we support is called the Springs Rescue Mission, and it's here in Colorado Springs, and they support our homeless population, helping them to get out of homelessness, the cycle of homelessness, help them to get food to eat. Just last week, I took about 30 BombBomb folks down there, and we did a barbecue where we cooked burgers. I smelled like Burger King when I came back to the office. I think we grilled like 300 burgers and hot dogs, and we served those people. So it's beyond money, right? Like, why do we do what we do? Because we're rehumanizing your business, but we're also trying to rehumanize the planet. And that planet starts right here in our own backyard in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Amazing. All right. So you spoke a little bit just now about rehumanizing your business, right? And when we read your bio, a big part of BombBomb's mission is to rehumanize the planet. And so could you explain to us, in very layman terms, what does it mean to rehumanize people? What are we lacking that we need rehumanization? Could you share with us, what does that really mean?
I think it's two things. In your business, it means this, that we are, I think, participating right now in this insanely, it's like nuclear proliferation, but it's different. It's this digital pollution, okay? Mm-hmm. So after I get off of this call with you, I will have no less than, 30 unsolicited emails in my inbox. LinkedIn will have a few, and we're just being bombarded, right? And so we need to get back to building know, like, and trust with the people that we want to work with. We need to communicate in a way that solves problems for people we know that we can solve problems for. I think the problem right now in marketing and sales is that we're just holistically blasting everyone to kingdom come with unwanted, unsolicited messaging. And frankly, I don't know about you, but I don't even believe it's from real people anymore, right? So what we're doing is we're desensitizing people. Nobody believes that you actually wrote the email anymore, actually wrote the LinkedIn message. I think it was written for you, sent by some sort of system. And what that does is it takes away the idea of reciprocity on my part. 5 years ago, even 3 years ago, if you sent me an email, even if I wasn't interested, the reciprocity effect says, I'm going to respond to you even if I'm not interested. Now we've made it so very easy to ignore everyone.
That's true.
Everyone is complicit in this digital pollution that we're all participating in. So we send too much of stuff that doesn't matter. Therefore, the stuff that does goes by the wayside. So I believe using personal video, personal messaging to people succinctly for them, to them, from human to human, to solve the problem that you very well solve for this type of business. I mean, right? So you have to have that figured out. What's the problem I solve? How do we succinctly solve it? In 20 seconds, deliver a video for that person. Or in the customer experience side, if it's retention, don't make me feel like just another number of your business. How many customers do you have? Don't make me feel like number 569. Make me feel like the only one. And so how do you do that, right? You do that by taking time and sending personalized communications whenever possible. It doesn't have to be every time, but I call them moments that matter. What are the very important moments that matter, when I know this should be, look, easy way to do this is to say to yourself, would this be better said face to face? If so, send a video. Okay. So that's rehumanizing your business. Rehumanizing the planet or rehumanizing these things. I believe people have intrinsic value. I believe all over the world, people are being dehumanized right now, probably more than they ever have been, ever. We have more slavery. We have more sex trafficking. We have more abuse. We need to get in front of that. And to me, we need to do our part here. So that's why, as I mentioned, we support these local organizations. We actually even support a community in Africa where some kids in Africa got to adopt BombBombers, right? It was amazing. So they got the kids got to look at pictures of people who work here, choose them to be someone they want to communicate with. And then, of course, we help the organization, but we help with food and medical care and things like that. But I got to tell you, some of the best joy happens from these kids sending letters to people who work here. And that's a connection that we build. So we're rehumanizing the people of BombBomb by doing that, right? Just as much as we are those kids in Africa. So that's a big part of our mission here. I just believe that the world we live in, if we just want to turn a blind eye to it, that's not responsible as a business owner.
Agreed. I love it. Amazing. All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Darin. Now, Darin, could you also share with us what's the one online resource, tool, website, or app that you absolutely can't live without in your business?
Yeah, it's pretty generic one, I'm going to admit, but it's Spotify, right? I mean, what couldn't I live without? I can't live without podcasts. I listen to podcasts like crazy. I got a bit of a commute. I enjoy it. My kids play soccer 4 nights a week, so when I'm waiting for them to be done, I'm on podcast, right? So I'm trying to build myself up through that. So I'm going to say Spotify.
All right. And that's a pretty popular one, but we'll definitely have it in the show notes of this episode for those of our listeners that maybe are not using it or probably are not as familiar with it. Could you also share with us, Darin, maybe 1 or 2 books that have had the biggest impact on you? It could be a book that you read a very long time ago, or even one that you've read recently, but it still has had a great impact on you.
Yeah, you bet. Seth Godin was a very, very much a part of the foundation of this business in the early 2000s. I've read every Seth Godin book that he's ever written. And so I'm just going to say Seth Godin. Okay. So if you're Seth Godin podcast, Seth Godin book, Seth Godin is the early ones. I think it was even Purple Cow. It was really transformational, just about being unique and how you stand out. And I believe the book, I might get this wrong, is it like 1,000 True Fans? It might have been one of his earlier books. Just the idea, if you have 1,000 fans, that you'll never have to work again, right? And I think we're seeing this. He was a early projector of this influencer movement that we see very common today, and that's exactly what he was talking about in that book. And that's how we thought about sending video messaging, that you could be this influencer. So, and then I'm going to say Vern Harnish wrote a book called Scaling Up, and then Scaling Up 2.0, and it's about mastering the Rockefeller habits, as he calls it. And these are just these business motions that have made us very successful at BombBomb. How to run the business, how to plan for the business, how to do stand-ups in the morning. All of these things are very fundamentally ingrained into who we are here at BombBomb. So Seth Godin and Scaling Up 2.0, those are my 2 recommendations.
All right. Sounds awesome. So we will have the links to those 2 books that Darin has shared with us in the show notes of this episode. Now, Darin, could you also share with us what's the one thing that's going on in your life right now that you're really excited about? It could be something you're working on to develop yourself or your people.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about this growth team that we have put together. I get to lead it. It's fantastic. It's a cross-functional team, meaning people coming from lots of different parts of the organization are focused on how do we get after better growth for the business. So that means acquiring new customers, better keeping the customers that we have, making the product more aligned towards those things. So it's been a lot of fun, and I love that team.
All right. Sounds amazing. Now, our listeners would have tapped into this awesome podcast interview with you, and they are quite intrigued with BombBomb. They'd like to connect with BombBomb, even connect with you, maybe to get some greater insight on this product and how it fits into their business, and probably even to contribute to your mission on rehumanizing the planet. Where can they find you online or connect with you?
Yep, you can find me at BombBomb.com. I'm easy to find on LinkedIn, actually, so you can see me there. I'm easy, just Darren Dawson on LinkedIn, and just connect with me, but just send me a personal message, not a generic one is all that I ask.
Okay. Now, before we wrap our episodes up, we always like to ask our guests, do you have a quote or saying that you use in times of adversity or challenge? This quote kind of helps to get you back on track and get you refocused if for any chance you got derailed.
You bet. It's Peter Drucker, and the quote is, focus is the key to all economic success. So if I need to get refocused, if my team does, I bring that out. Focus is the key. So are we focused? Do we need to get more focused? Or are things that we should stop doing so we can start doing the right things? So Peter Drucker.
All right. So Peter Drucker, focus is the key to all economic success, correct?
You got it.
All right. So we will have that as well for our listeners in the show notes of this episode. Well, thank you so much, Darren, for jumping on this podcast with us today and sharing all of this great insight about BombBomb. To our listeners, if you're not using video to connect and communicate with your customers daily, BombBomb is definitely a company I think you should form an alliance with to really set yourself apart. And just to reference what Darren mentioned earlier in the interview, if you have two companies that sell the exact same product and the price is pretty much the same, what's going to make you choose one business over the other? And as Darren mentioned, it really boils down to the experience. And that experience is delivered with your people, the experiences, the conversations, the responses that they give back to your customers. All of those things will determine how that customer feels about your business and whether or not they're going to choose you over your competition. So BombBomb can definitely help you to get to that point where your business communication sets you apart from your competition. So thank you so much, Darren.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
All right. Just want to remind our listeners to hop onto Facebook and join our private Facebook group, Navigating the Customer Experience Community. And feel free to follow us on Twitter at NavigatingCX. Until next time, I'm your host, Yannick Grant. We also have a new book available on Amazon, The ABCs of a Fantastic Customer Experience. It's available in ebook and paperback. So if you want to increase revenue in your organization, build a stronger service culture, and create employees or develop employees who are really mastering service delivery in your business, you need to grab a copy of this book. Until next time, I'm your host, Yannick Grant.
Thanks for listening. For more awesome resources to take your customer service game to another level, head over to navigatingthecustomerexperience.com. See you next time.